overview on gaming and its pedagogy from Rick Moffat from Temple. Rick is then going to introduce his panel, and we're going to have a panel discussion around gaming, pedagogy, etc. in more depth for about an hour. And then for half an hour, we're going to play. And maybe you'll even learn how to jump. So I'm going to let Rick be the MC.
Great, thank you, Kim.
Everything about Minecraft.
No, that's why I have everybody else here, because I don't know everything about Minecraft. Before I get started, could one of you in the Hangout speak to make sure you're coming through the speakers here?
Testing, testing.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you weren't actually in my headphone. Let me grab my notes real quick. I think I'm going to be tethered here with my headphone, but I'm going to grab my notes and we'll give a quick overview.
So we'll talk you through it when it comes time to play. I mean, if you can multitask and you want to fiddle around while we're talking, that's fine with me. I'm probably not on my skills.
Right.
May not be your best practice.
Okay. So as Kim introduced me, I'm Rick Moffat. I'm a senior manager of technical support at Temple. My title just changed. I've worked for the Instructional Support Center and Academic Computer Services at Temple for 14 years. I'm a Blackboard system administrator. We run web conferencing software. My LinkedIn profile says an expert in educational technology. Whatever that means these days, that's what I'm doing. And I've always been a gamer, and as I've watched technology evolve in education, a lot of what I see entering the classroom is what we saw in games 5 years ago, earlier. A lot of things happen in gaming spaces, and then filtered not just into education, but in a lot of areas of media and communication. The original draft of the workshop agenda suggested I talk about the history of and an overview of games in education. But for me, as a gamer, I didn't really see any games that I would consider fun or engaging in education until Minecraft. Minecraft was really a watershed for what teachers are able to deliver in a classroom to students who are already sophisticated, educated gamers. Maria and one of our panelists, who I'll introduce shortly, will tell you that some of the work she does compares the difference between earlier games in education, instructionism. People say to me all the time when I talk to them about video games, how can I use a video game to teach my subject area? And rather than I think that's the wrong place to start, because what we're trying to do is take a medium that is designed for more collaborative, more connected, more peer-based and distributed learning, and use it to deliver in a traditional educational style. When people say, how can I use games to teach, I really want the conversation to center around how are games going to change the way we all think about teaching and learning. So I find a couple conversations repeating themselves when I talk to educators about video games. One of those conversations is the difference between using games to teach and what can teach us about teaching and learning. James G. has the book, What Video Games Have to Teach Us About Learning and Literacy. I use the word literacy a lot too, because I think people who are gamers have a set of skills that are unique and have only developed over the last 20 years or so. A lot of us use computers. Gamers live inside a
think we may have lost you, Rick.
Conversation, or they'll say, do you play on the Wii, do you play on the PS4, do you play on your phone, do you play on the PC? All of these things carry different rule sets and different environments where you have to be literate. You have to be able to function in that world. You have to have the right equipment. You have to know how to install the software. You have to know how to update your games, communicate with other people who might be playing with you. It was text chat for a long time. Now voice chat is very common and it's being built into games. So you put your headphones on, you start a game with someone else, and you don't have to set up everything we're setting up here. You're just able to talk to other people who are on your team right away. And my daughter Olivia here is in the front row today, and I watch her all the time. She plays Minecraft with people in the Netherlands. She plays other games online where she puts her headphones on. She just starts talking to people. And my wife is mystified. I have to explain to her all of these elements that go into what games provide. So when we want to use games in a classroom, if a faculty member or a teacher doesn't have an understanding of that, I watch kids switch off really quickly, because what they see, what the teacher is telling them is a game, is like an online ditto to them. It's like a computer. It's an exercise. It's a click here, do this, click here, do that. But the level of interaction and engagement that they expect in games isn't present in most games for education. That's not a blanket statement. It sounds like a blanket statement. There are good implementations by teachers who understand games and want to find a way to engage the students. And there is a balance, certainly, between what a commercial game offers and what you need to deliver in a classroom. There's standards curriculum that has to be delivered. You have to be able to assess it. Minecraft, I think, is the first place where we're starting to see a lot of opportunities for achieving those goals while still providing an environment that is authentic to the students. How many people here are gamers, would consider themselves gamers? Okay. All right, so we have a couple in the audience. What platforms do you play on? Do you play PC games or? Okay. Okay. And you were the other person, Richard? Right. Okay. So, because I'm always curious, like, what percentage of the audience has some level of literacy when it comes to games. But Maria knows. Maria was at Temple for a long time. We did research projects together, and I go through a certain amount of mental distress trying to explain why I think my hobby is valuable in a higher education or an academic space. It's challenging because I think, especially in higher ed, it's so discipline specific that I'm taking a very broad cultural phenomenon and trying to figure out how you're going to drill down very far into engineering, into English, into history, and games don't meet those very specific needs yet. But another reason we're interested in Minecraft is I think this is the first place where we're starting to be able to develop the tools to provide more specific, deeper, discipline, appropriate lessons within that authentic game environment. I was talking before about if a gamer wants to know what kind of game you're playing. Minecraft is very much, it's called a sandbox game. And I would say that Minecraft was created by Notch, the developer of Minecraft, in response to a lot of limitations in other video games. Everything that frustrated us as gamers, things we wanted to be able to do but couldn't do, I think Notch said, well, why can't we do this? Why can't we have a world to explore where everything in the world you can pick up and repurpose and make into something else? Part of that has to do with computing power. It's only in the last 5 years, I think, where you're starting to be able to design games where an entire open world where you can wander anywhere, the computer has the power to allow that to happen. Before that, a lot of games that were big open world games were you're only allowed to go certain places, interact with certain things. There were rules to the game that the developer had created. In Minecraft, Notch has given the power to the player to make their own decisions about what they want to do. And that is, I think that's where we really see people's eyes light up, kids, gamers, say, I can do whatever I want to do. Some people are daunted by that and they go, I don't know what to do. Other people take the ball and run with it, and if you search anything about Minecraft online, you'll see an incredible range of things that people have created. There's the Starship Enterprise, and there's every major landmark in the world has been recreated. And that's what people build in creative worlds. There's also survival worlds and multiplayer communities where you're not just building, you're actually harvesting and building everything that goes into the game. And those communities are fascinating places because I think that sort of social interaction that is an analog to flipped classrooms and connected learning and peer learning. All of the things I see talked about in education regarding new types of learning, I already see in game spaces happening organically. It's not a one-to-one match. You can't pick something out of a game space and put it in a classroom and say this is going to work. But the more we know about how gamers operate in those communities, those online communities, the better I think we're going to be able to adapt gaming ideas for instruction. I want to go back to my notes. The other thing about Minecraft and the reason Joel is here, when Notch created Minecraft, he made it moddable. There are other video games out there that could be modified by anyone else out in the world. But I think Minecraft is the first one where he provided an environment where the ability to create your own modifications had more potential and possibility than any game before. Games like Half-Life, you could create new spaces, but not necessarily new rules in the same way that you can with Minecraft. I'll introduce our panel here shortly. I don't want to jump in on Joel's on my introduction of Joel, but he created a mod that gives tools to teachers to better manage Minecraft in the classroom. Before that, you had to do everything from, you had to type in all the commands that you would use in Minecraft, which for gamers is great, but for teachers who need to operate in a much quicker environment, it was a sorely needed tool. That's one of, I don't know how many mods are out there. There's an unbelievable amount, thousands and thousands, developed by anyone who has an interest in creating something new. From 10-year-old kids to software development professionals. There are mods out there that will let you work with different types of power structures, or you can fly airships around, or there's entire sections about agriculture. There are biomes that are out there. There's geological studies, there's archaeology. I go on and on, I won't. But what we're seeing is some people are taking these mods and trying to figure out how to apply them in the classroom. There's a group, we'll provide the link after the Hangout for the Minecraft Teachers Google group, where a lot of people who are doing fascinating things with Minecraft in the classroom share their ideas, and we get together in Hangouts like this with the guys who are on the screen and lots of other teachers from around the world who talk about what they can do, what they want to do, and how we can extend Minecraft. So that same sort of game community has emerging in the educator community as well. And the ideas that come out of that, it really is the best of the internet. It's crowdsourced, it's open source. You can get an idea, you can put an idea out there, and somebody else might pick up the idea and run with it, and you reap the benefits of it later. Or there's a lot of collaboration going on. One quick example: I had a student at Temple, a doctoral student at Temple, who needed to build a 3D model of the U.S. Capitol really quickly because her grant funding ended. There was a problem. The virtual environment that she had set up was yanked and removed. She couldn't get back to it. She needed to finish her dissertation. She said, Maria knew the student and said, maybe you should talk to Rick about Minecraft. And I can't build the US Capitol in Minecraft, but an entire community of people, the Minecraft Teachers Google group, did. And so we built a space where everything that she needed to be able to do for her dissertation was created in Minecraft Online. And it's not something I could have done alone. And I think that's the beauty of Minecraft, is when you put all these minds and all these ideas together, you're not going to get something that fits maybe your exact needs, but if you want to work with other people and think about where things are going, you may find somebody else working on the same project. You may find somebody who wants to partner with you on the design side, or even just paying attention to Minecraft and what we can do today is going to serve us better in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, as games continue to mature, as learning environments continue to mature. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these tools, even if they're not technically commercial games. We're going to see tools like this for creating spaces for collaborative, online, distributed, peer learning. And with that, I'd like to get, I've been referencing the panel a lot, so I'd like to introduce everyone who's here. And with us today, we have Joel Levin, creator of MinecraftEdu. I'm going to go through quickly and let you, actually, Joel, why don't you say just a little bit about yourself, because I don't have the bios in front of me.
Well, for the past 10 years, I was a teacher at private schools in New York City. You know, like Rick, I grew up playing games. I think a lot of the way that I learned to learn was influenced by playing games and how I attack problems in games, and that sort of transferred into my life. You know, growing up in the 80s, I think that was less common. Today it's very common. So, you know, it always made a lot of sense for me to bring games into my own classroom. But I'll sort of echo what Rick was saying. I should probably do this closer to the microphone so people can hear. You know, but I guess I always stopped short of sort of really developing curriculum around a particular game until Minecraft came along, because it offered many opportunities to just create entire worlds from my imagination and set up experiences for my class. You know, when I started, there was really just, you know, I could count on one hand the teachers that I was aware of using Minecraft in the classroom. So all of us were sort of pioneering and creating our own worlds. But now there are thousands of teachers using Minecraft. They are already creating worlds. It's possible, you know, you could find one of their worlds, download it, use it in your classroom, or adapt it and grow off of it. So, you know, I had a really amazing time using it in my class with second graders. I was teaching technology classes, so we were focusing on computer skills. We were focusing on internet research. I was having them go to the Minecraft wiki to look up strategies or new things to do in the game. We had a focus on digital citizenship, how we interact with other people online, how we treat each other, tackling the ideas of what's public and what's private online. So some of these sort of very timely, important, but difficult issues to teach to young children. But, you know, my school is really committed to tackling these issues before these kids all got Facebook accounts, right? And I actually found that Minecraft was a really effective way to do that, because I could create these little scenarios. I could have kids come into conflict with each other in safe ways. Maybe I'd have you know, two different teams with competing goals, or, you know, they'd have a building challenge, but there'd be limited resources, and then having them sort of break some of their ingrained gamer habits and deal with the other players as actual human beings was really interesting. So I mean, I can give more detail on that, on specifically what I did if you guys are interested. But to make a long story short, I started blogging about my experiences and posting videos online, and to my great surprise, lots of people were interested in what I was doing. I started being contacted by you know, other teachers and principals and parents and students from all over the world asking how they can get Minecraft going in their school. And I eventually came to the attention of the company Mojang that makes Minecraft, and one thing led to another, and I actually started a company to make this version of the game that we're going to play today, called MinecraftEdu, which, as Rick says, sort of has this extra layer of teacher tools. So it's a mod, which I think you said is short for modification. You know, right? If you want to fight more monsters, there's a mod for that. If you want to drive cars, there's a mod for that. If you want to program computers inside the game world, there's a mod for that. And so, you know, where we started from is, well, what are the things that teachers want to do with Minecraft? What are the controls that we need to have over the experience to keep it focused on our subject matter? And so we created MinecraftEdu to give teachers those tools. And it really just, I spent 2 years both developing the mod and continuing to teach in my own classroom. So it was really, my classroom was kind of the goal of MinecraftEdu, and it was really it started out as just sort of my dream Minecraft mod for the classroom, but as other teachers started to come into the community and contribute and create their own maps and put up their own features, their own wish list of features, we have been doing all we could to sort of take the best ideas and put them into the game. So actually, as of last summer, I'm now out of the classroom. I'm doing this full time. I don't know if this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I can't imagine not teaching ever again. It's good to be in front of a room full of people and a projector. But so that is why I'm excited to show this to you folks today. All right.
Thanks, Joel. Okay. And because of Joel and what he created, the three gentlemen who are on the screen here with us, on the far left is Maria, who's actually in the room with us physically. Next to Maria is Matt Koya, and Shane Asselstein in the middle. I always leave out the second S. And Stephen Elford on the right-hand side. I'll let you guys introduce yourself quickly if you'd like. Let's do that. We'll do a quick bio. Where are you from? What do you do? And let's start with Stephen, because it's the middle of the night where he is in Australia, and I want to get the balls.
All right, I'm Stephen Elford. I am in Australia. It is 1:20 a.m. I'm a secondary school teacher, so I teach students from about 13 through 18, science, biology, and maths. I started very early on, just after Joel first released the public test version of MinecraftEdu using Minecraft in the classroom. So I've been on the journey since the very beginning, and it has been a great journey. But I think, like most of us here on this panel, we play games outside of the classroom, and that's part of the reason we sort of see the value of putting them into our classrooms. How'd I do, Rick? Anything else I needed to add?
No, I think that's great to start, yep. Shane, you want to go next?
Sure. I guess I'm second furthest away. I'm in Hawaii, and I teach elementary school. I'm actually the curriculum and technology coordinator right now for my school, and I deal mostly with grades 3 to 6. I've been fortunate enough to work with Alfie and Matt, Rick, and Joel this whole year, and I've been basically using Minecraft every day in class for one of the 4 grade levels that I work with. And we do everything from math to language arts, science stuff, just technology, and then even just digital skills and life skills. So it's a great tool, and I'm excited to be here and happy to participate.
Thanks, Shane. We're going to be looking at one of the maps. We're going to be playing one of the maps that Shane created for his students a little later. And next to Shane on the left is Matt Koya.
Hey guys, I'm Matt Koya, and I'm a former teacher actually. I taught physics and middle school science for quite a few years, and I'm actually going back to school. A lot of that influenced by this community and things. I'm going back to school to learn computer science. So, I've been with MinecraftEdu since the end of 2011 or so. So I've kind of been at least in a support role for other teachers, especially in the Google group and with these guys. So we do a lot to try to help people use it and use it properly. So I'm glad I could be here and help you guys too.
Great. And I'd like to have Maria introduce herself here as well.
I know we don't have a ton of time. So how many people here don't play video games? I don't have time to play video games. Okay, I don't either. I don't play video games, and I don't have a ton of time, and I haven't played Minecraft in close to I'm so sorry. They're going to throw something at me. Probably from behind.
Feels like a support group.
So I just want to say
it's been 6 weeks.
I know that they come from really their perspective is coming from, we want to introduce you to this world, but of course when you don't game, hear that, and we're like, well, I don't game, I didn't game. I wasn't even permitted to have video games when I was young. So I'm a PhD candidate from Temple University. I'm leaving tomorrow to move to San Francisco to go work with you guys. And it's not a gaming company, but it calls itself that. It's and tell you though is that the gaming practice is, as you well know, moving into the the regular space of everyday life. Okay, so Zynga makes games like Words with Friends, Farmville, right? Social interaction games. So games are not as, I would say, this edge of the culture, and I think Rick was trying to put that across. What I did was use Minecraft to study intrinsic motivation in the classroom. And intrinsic motivation is like trying to harness, the sun or wind's energy, right? Of course, you want your students to have tons of intrinsic motivation for what they're doing, because then all you have to do is set up the environment and they become right. The problem is of course, as soon as they're very extrinsically motivated, and there was a lot of that that I studied. But I think what's really important, at least for me today, is to hear why in the context of the Nexus Learning approach that's here at Philadelphia University, you guys got together and said, we need this at Philadelphia University, because I can, from my experiences, definitely talk about what things in the environment need to be in place and what kind of instructor really approaches Minecraft in the right way. I taught statistics at the college level. And there were many times that I would go and play Minecraft and support this really constructivist environment where kids were just showing me things from the ground up and I was letting them go. And then the next day I would go and stand at a chalkboard and write statistics down, right? Because I didn't have the time or the money to sort of translate those teaching skills. I would have loved to teach statistics in Minecraft. But those two schools of thought are completely incompatible, right? You can't, it's very difficult to say we're going to teach X with Minecraft, right? So talk about setting up the environment in a way. Certainly there are subject guides and there are matters that we teach with, but it's a new approach to learning. It takes time. It takes a very experimental spirit. It takes an instructor who's willing to let go of reins. Definitely. It's a very scary space. For instructors who are trained that at the end of the day they have to get students to this goal and these test scores, and it can be difficult, but it's totally possible. I just come at it from an instructional perspective, and I know that it doesn't just sort of match up exactly. You can't just put calc in Minecraft. You can't, yes, you can teach programming, but the ability to do that and what you have to be as an instructor, you have to let go of a lot of things that you're traditionally taught about instruction and about classroom environments. So I don't think that had anything to do with me. I don't think I really matter. I just think it'll be really interesting for us to have some conversation at some point about what kind of environment Minecraft learning best grows in, best flourishes in. Sense.
And how that affects the way we teach today.
Exactly.
And the way we look at teaching moving forward.
And when you face institutional constraints, we're not going to sit here and complain about them, but how do you meet those, meet your job numbers,
right?
While at the same time fostering this environment for your students. It takes time and it takes courage.
Right.
You have to, because what immediately happens is you're no longer the expert. Right. And a lot of teachers, the teacher I worked with in a 7th and 8th grade classroom, she dipped out completely. She didn't want to even touch the game because it was so far flung from her comfort zone. And I don't blame her. That's why, I would do the research on Tuesday and then on Wednesday go and just write on a chalkboard. Because I had control over that knowledge. I had the answer. And, when the head of the department came to me and said, can these kids do stats? I would say, yes, I wrote it down right here, right? So those two schools of thought are incompatible. And it's not to scare you, it's just to make you aware. So, shutting up.
And one of the things that would be a challenge for the people on the panel, or for some of the people on the panel, is we want to talk about Minecraft and games-based learning in a higher ed environment. A lot of the work that's been done in Minecraft is in K-12. I know some university projects, but not a lot. I think that speaks to the more specific and the deeper knowledge that occurs at the university. There's a lot more work that has to happen to make environments that are valuable. But I have a list of 5 questions here. I'm pretty sure I've shared it with most people on the panel. If somebody doesn't have it, talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure Shane could forward it over. I think he's got the list of agenda questions. But there are 5 questions that I want to go through, and if you want to, I don't want to us to talk at you the entire time. And we're going to do a Q&A afterwards. If there's something you want to bring up in relation to one of these questions, I think it's important that we have a dialogue rather than too much of us talking. The first thing that Kim sent us, the question for the panel is, why gaming as a pedagogical tool? What can games provide that you as a faculty member can't give them? And I think when we say can't give them, I mean teaching, as Maria said, the traditional way where we've been taught to teach. Does anybody want to take a shot at why gaming is a pedagogical tool? Steven?
I'll give it a crack. My first comment would be that's where the students nowadays spend a great deal of their time. I haven't got the research with me here, but I think it's like 90% of students spend over 50% of their time in a virtual world, in a game of some form or another, be it on their mobile device, be it on their home computer, be it on their laptop. So this is where the student population is. This is where, this is where for me, the youth is. I know we're talking about higher ed here, but it's building its way up. I mean, so to meet them there is going to allow us to, I think, sort of get more out of them by meeting them where they already are. Does that make sense? And does anyone want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just underscore if there's sort of any doubters about sort of games as their own medium, as their own art form. You know, just as the printing press was scary when it was first, and you know, then other forms, you know, television came along and that was supposed to disrupt in some interesting ways. Films and all these other technologies, you know, games are an established art form. It's big business. The game industry makes more money than Hollywood every year. There are more people spending more hours playing games, and there's a wide range. You've got your 5-minute time wasters, and you've got your 60-hour epics that have hundreds of characters with intricate storylines and professional players. You know, this is a modern literacy. I still think we're in the very early stages of what to do with that literacy in the classroom. A lot of us are out there trying to figure it out, and we have some successes and we have false starts. But, you know, when I'm talking to a room full of adults and professionals, I feel like I need to say what I just said and kind of justify this. It's really not the case with anybody, you know, mid-20s and younger. They grew up with these games in their life forms. They discuss the merits of one game or another. They critique them. And, you know, when you listen in on these conversations, if you're not a gamer, it may be very hard to kind of understand what they're saying and how they're comparing and contrasting one game versus another. Or you know, those games are usually made by teams of tens or hundreds of people, but there's often one auteur, right, who sort of has the vision. They're the game designer, and people will like have their favorite game designers, and they'll follow them from game to game just as they would with so, you know, I guess I'm underscoring what Stevens was saying about sort of the relevancy of games in culture to youth today. And it's just such an opportunity, I think, to bring it into education, especially in higher education where we've seen less penetration than in especially grade school, middle school.
I think from a pedagogical perspective, I think that, you know, games are a great environment for the 21st century skill sets that people talk about all the time, right? They're a really ripe environment for collaboration, skill building. So what I did quickly in my dissertation was have the students do a buildings to scale project. So they would pick a monument, their favorite monument, learn how to scale using racial proportion, scale it back to converting Minecraft units. And a lot of students had never touched Minecraft. I mean, we talk about it like, yeah, every kid is doing this. Yes, maybe every kid is doing some gaming, but not every kid is doing Minecraft. So you saw a lot of collaboration inside the game. Students teaching each other things, students helping each other build things. So again, I think games become a vehicle for moving them into the skills that we talk about in grant meetings. You know, we want them to have these 21st century skills. Did you have a question? Oh, you're stretching. Okay. Oh, go ahead. No, interact. I hate this.
I have a question regarding
I think.
It's about half
Well,
and half. From what I
Elkie's waving.
I'd join into that one too.
90% of 90% of students who play games, and 50% of those are in virtual worlds where they're interacting with
No,
others.
50% of their time. So
Okay.
the only stats I know, and Elfie, you're not here, but the only stats I know are from like the Pew American Life Project, and 97% of respondents to that survey, and there were like 12,000 respondents. So I would say more than half of them are it's probably a 60-40 split, but a lot of females don't realize they're gaming. So a lot of the younger generation that I interacted with, and we'll have a number here, females would say, oh, I don't play video games, because they thought about video games like Minecraft or whatever, and I would say, well, you're playing Candy Crush, or you mess around with this little world on your phone, and so it's that loose definition. Females that I interacted with, so I'm talking about, I had 106. The females I interacted with, by and large, there was reticence. There was like, I don't do that, right? And this is like pubescent females, like 13, 14. So yeah, I found a difference in approach. Do I think it's as pronounced?
If I'd like to jump in on that question if I can. I teach basically grades 3 to 6, and hopefully everyone can hear me. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I teach 3 to 6, and I have 240 students. Pretty much half of that is girls, and out of the entire 240 students, I have had one student ask me if she could do the worksheets, the traditional method of it over Minecraft, and it wasn't because she didn't want to do it. It was simply because she was feeling nauseous playing it. So what it turned out to be was that when she would look at the big screen, because I have a big, huge projection screen that I show the map on, that's when she would feel sick. So for me, at least, what I've seen is that the girls in my classes and the boys are equally engaged, but they do take a look, or they do value different aspects of the game, is what I've noticed. So, for instance, the boys that I've seen so far, they're all about creating big things and massive amounts of things and just big. Whereas the girls, and this isn't just, of course, what I've seen, the girls are more like they want to add the windows, the little details, all the little things that make things look more realistic. And they're in there for the social aspect of it. They really like to sit in there and they talk to each other. And so I can actually see the two different groups interacting, but amazingly enough, they both get the same things accomplished in the end.
I mean, and that's to me one of the most interesting things about specifically Minecraft is it really supports both styles of play. There was this seminal work from the 80s, Richard Bartlett, who talked about different types of game players, and what he published classified them as spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs, the suits of game players, and he classified them as explorers, the ones who need to see what's like on the other side of the mountain. Achievers, the ones who have to climb to the top of the tallest mountain. Socializers, the ones who don't care about the mountain but just want to stay in town and talk to their friends. And then the killers, the ones who want to engage in competition and combat. I think that research still holds very true for today. And some of the most popular games in the world are the ones that offer something each of those types of players.
Right.
And Minecraft really does. I mean, and I think Minecraft was one of the first games to actually introduce what I would call a fifth category, which is a builder, a creator, someone who wants to make their own content in these worlds. And that really was not possible until very recently with games. So it's very interesting.
Steven, did you want to say something about that, or?
I have the numbers. I looked it up. It's girls are 45% of the makeup and males 55%, so that's 18 and above. But a lot of girls my age probably play less than boys, but when you have like college-age people, it's pretty even.
Start Steven
So
out.
this is who's buying computer games? I'm just trying to...
Yeah, well, it's 45
a room full of college professors. Yeah.
They want to know the sources.
Well, that's a different number than what's on there.
Okay.
So, buys it is 54% male and 46% female. So
Yeah, pretty close.
still
Yeah.
pretty-
I mean, in my dissertation, so I definitely had a stronger resistance from people. So the social aspect of it, being able to chat and work in groups with your friends, so a lot of the females that I interviewed, it was about public embarrassment. It was like, I don't want to be bad on screen in front of a bunch of people. And that wasn't only a female thing. But
Right.
the males were a little more immature, so they were willing to like burn and die a lot of like, oh, you died, huh? But the females were very, and I too had to sort of face that when I started using it as a tool to meet people and teach. The public shaming was tough for them, but when they were in that sort of environment, all sort of bad together and group, then they were good. And I would sit with them and say, see, I can't do it, and,
Right.
and that whole thing.
Speaking of being in a higher ed environment, I think that question hasn't been researched to the level at which we expect. If there's a difference, why is there a difference? What game were you playing? What was the background of the people who were playing? What other factors go into whether someone likes or doesn't like a game? Was everybody the same skill level coming into the game? And then, so the girls who didn't like it because of their gender? Or were the boys in that group more familiar with the way you moved in the world that didn't feel put off? There's so many external factors that I think go into that question that I don't know. We can get sales numbers or we can get Pew surveys, but we're still not digging down into the question of why didn't they like it. So part of what I think happens is when we talk about literacy, I think you have to be able to determine somehow what someone's baseline knowledge of the game environment is before you decide whether they liked it or not because of their gender.
Oh, absolutely. But I think what Joel is saying is that it's an environment. So one of the other variables I study. So I came from a psychology perspective, studying cognition and motivation, and then also studying what media scholars call telepresence, the sense of being there in the environment. And the kids were less present in the environment graphically, sort of like feeling like they were in the world, but more socially present. Like if they got angry about something, one of the survey questions was, did you ever get angry about something in the game and feel like turning and hitting someone? And that was high. Like, yes, like they felt, together in the world. That support system cannot be undersold. The social collaborative aspects.
And some of the things I think we're kind of leading into the second question a little bit when we talk about why gaming is a pedagogical tool. The second question asks, with more online courses and majors at Philadelphia University, could gaming enhance the sense of engagement, community, and collaboration for distance learners?
Yes, but.
Okay, yes, but.
Yes, but you cannot. So distance learning, I taught a couple courses with Drexel. They were distance learning. You can't force fun on people, right? So you can't be like, play Minecraft for 90 minutes a day. That's part of the. How do you have to think carefully about how you foster a play environment so that like they want to come, right? That's why the K-12 environment's a little easier because you can force a lot more of them. Like, well, you're here, you have to play, right? You legally can't leave until 3:30.
Right.
So yes, but play, as I said, that play so delicate. So the instructor, how I would approach that, the instructor, whether bad or good, you've got to be in the game. You've got to be tinkering around. You have to be the leader of fun. And even if they get better than you very quickly, which probably will happen, is you have to be all about being in the game.
Can I kind of interject in that point? Actually, it's been one of the things that I try to get across because I actually spend a lot of time in supporting other teachers who are trying to get starting up, and one of the biggest fears for them in gaming is that, yeah, but the kids have a head start. The kids know more than I do. The kids, they're already experts. And my question to them is, a couple of things. One is the kids nowadays, they don't learn the way that we have learned. I'm guessing we're all roughly same age, or at least you're all younger than me, maybe, I don't know, but We don't, you know, we would learn, teachers would sit there, you'd sit in a desk and give a piece of paper, and here you go, here's a test, here's a quiz, here's an assignment, here's a worksheet, here's this, here's this, here's this. Write these notes off the board. Great. It worked for us because clearly we've become somewhat productive members of society. So
And what students today say is, why am I doing this?
exactly. It's not engaging to them because it's not valuable to them. They don't care about a worksheet. They don't care about writing notes off the board, but they do care about their games. As Elfie said, they spend tons of time in the game. I'll give you a little thing that I noticed. We have become a Promethean board school in the sense that every classroom has one now. And one of the things that one of the teachers noticed was he did a math question on the board, a regular whiteboard with a regular dry erase marker, and he had a student who just wasn't paying attention at all. He was off, you know, looking this way, looking that way, whatever. The next day we put the whiteboard in, the electronic whiteboard. He did the exact same math question. That kid could not take his eyes off the screen. I mean, you're talking right there. He did exactly the same math question, exactly the same way. Just one was electronic and one was more manual. The kid was automatically more interested.
I'm gonna
So engaging the kids that way, I mean, just that alone is going to increase the amount of learning that they're doing.
That's tough. I don't know. You don't know that he learned that.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the novelty factor.
Yeah.
You know, there is something to that, right? You know, it's, you know, but I'm going to circle back to the original question, which is, you know, what was the original question?
How can gaming enhance the sense of engagement, community, and collaboration for distance learning?
You know, I think it can enhance the sense of community engagement, et cetera, in distance learning. I don't think it should be the delivery mechanism for distance learning. You know, I think it should be another tool, another assignment. You know, one assignment is write an essay. Another assignment is do a photo essay, right? A third assignment could be create an experience in Minecraft that teaches this, right? I find one of the first mistakes of people wanting to teach with Minecraft is trying to cram all of their content in the world and just have the kids sort of visit it like a museum, right? Minecraft kids are a participatory culture, right? The kids want to be in it as agents in this world, making things happen, building things. In the map we're going to play that Shane created, they're actually physically not physically, digitally constructing scraps. You know, you know, a better assignment might be, hey, we've been studying, you know, ancient Roman aqueducts, right? Your assignment for this weekend is to play Minecraft and create a 10-minute experience that another player who's not in this class could play the game, use your world, and learn what you've chosen to put in there, right? To me, that's a really intriguing assignment. That's different than anything I was asked to do in college, right? But it would be playing on, you know, my predisposition for using games as a medium, right?
Yeah. You design. How many people here teach online now? Is anybody okay? Because I support Blackboard, so we do a lot of online. I've talked to faculty for years about what works and what doesn't work. I think you don't want to make gaming your learning management system necessarily. I don't think it's there yet, but if it's a tool within that system, I think the best courses I've seen online, especially when you want to talk about collaboration, engagement, community, if you have an online course and you're just putting up, here's the paper I want you to write, here's the math problems that are due, here's the syllabus, that's not hitting the areas of engagement you're talking about. You want to use tools like a discussion forum where you're posting questions, students are responding, other students are responding to them, and you want to design good assignments that are going to force them to not only produce their own material, but look on what other people are producing, reflect on that, critique that, and have them start to engage each other. You can do that in blogs, you can do that on wikis, and you can do that in Minecraft as well. So you want to use that tool to design an experience that encourages those types of interactions.
I mean, I think thinking about, and it can be really fun, and I think higher ed is the space where you do have time to think more about giving your students a more complex and abstract experience. The game space can be a really good place to have them think about causality, have them think about not only build a Roman aqueduct, but even in Minecraft, you could limit them to the materials that may have been available at the time, and have them think about, what that meant to be an architect in that age, or what did you have access to if you were in a certain class?
Or, build two communities, one that's benefiting from aqueduct and one that is not,
Right.
and discuss the difference. Put a character in your world that you can talk to who can explain what it meant to them. Things like this aren't really, I don't think they've been possible quite this way before.
Right. I'm sorry.
I was just going to jump in and say, I think the whole...
Hey, Steve, can you hold on a sec? We got a question here,
Yeah.
and we'll get back to
Go for it.
No, you can just, if this one's
I
working.
was just going to point out, I've only heard of it. I've never seen it before. These, as far as I know, the first screens I've ever seen. But I have a friend who I often teach product design with, and he has students download files in Minecraft with 3D print, so they can actually submit.
I can talk about that if you like, because I do that too.
Yep, you can talk. I know you're doing that as well.
So I'll address that first. Yeah, Minecraft is a very, very, very low-level entry 3D design program. Shane, what are the students' ages you work with?
They range from 8 to 12.
So, Joel, what your daughter really start playing and building things in Minecraft?
She was not quite 5, even when my daughter started.
So, at 5 to 8 years old, there are youth in the world today that can actually think in 3 dimensions, create something from their brain in this virtual world that we call Minecraft. And technology has now got to the point where we can take that and print it out in real life. And that's just a huge step forward in technology. I mean, I designed an educational DNA model in MinecraftEdu, took it, printed off several copies, gave it to my students to build. As they were building it, we were talking about the structure. So yeah, it's a really low level entry to the 3D design process. And from someone who's come from teaching in a 2-dimensional space with flat paper to someone who tried to teach exactly the same thing in a 3-dimensional space, I can tell you thinking in 3 dimensions is actually really, really hard to do. And it's something that does take a lot of practice. When I first started creating, I've created an animal cell map in 3 dimensions in Minecraft, and it really, really hard to take my 2-dimensional cell that's been in my head every year that I've taught it and transfer that into 3 dimensions was really, really difficult to do. So yeah, I think it's a really powerful tool like that. Now, if I can continue back to the other one, I think the whole fostering of relationships is much easier. Like, I mean, I work with Matt, Rick, Joel, and Shane really regularly, and it would not have happened without Minecraft. Forget about MinecraftEdu. I mean, we play Minecraft together, and we socially play that, and it creates such a community. And however much we bag each other out and hang it on each, it's a really good collaborative community. We help each other out. We're always chatting to one another. We're always bouncing ideas off one another. And the same thing can happen I mean, we're all online, in different parts of the world. So that same thing can happen in distance learning. I think if the design is set up right and you can get the community right, and Minecraft, I think, is a good tool for this because it fosters that collaboration with the right design process behind the tasks that you are setting. It fosters this kind of collaboration, and I think that's where distance learning could benefit from something like Minecraft and games in general, is that forced collaboration per se, if that makes sense.
One of the things I want to do at Temple is create a game center where it's not based on solely instruction or research or faculty centric and push down to the students. I want to create a space where students can come in and play games that they enjoy playing, whether it's Minecraft or Call of Duty or World of Warcraft or any of the hundreds of games out there. I want, because they do these sort of things naturally, these sort of collaborations and communications, they're doing distance learning naturally without anyone telling them how to do it. And I see Temple, I have to be careful how I put this, but we don't think distance learning can happen organically. We think we have to somehow structure it, and you do. But I think we can learn a lot by watching students, watching gamers play games, watching them interact, and playing with them to find out more about how we should successfully structure online and distance learning environments.
Yeah, and playing a lot of these games are hard.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, when you went to the store, you bought a game, it came with a thick manual. That doesn't happen anymore. If you're lucky, the game has like a tutorial that kind of gives you breadcrumbs and shows you how to
Inside the game.
operate inside the game.
Right.
But not all games do. Minecraft is notoriously unhelpful to new players. It doesn't tell you how to move or to jump. You could fall in a hole and then you're stuck there, literally.
You could die over and over until you figure
I've
out.
had that.
And then there's all of these hidden features. How would you ever know that you can, like, take wood from a tree, put it together a certain way, and then start making tools? You wouldn't. So, but this doesn't stop gamers. They go online. There's a huge Minecraft wiki, sure, but one of the most popular places they'll go is to YouTube, and they'll watch videos of other people playing. The tutorials that people have made, and they network with each other. I've like listened, eavesdrop on conversations where kids are like, "Oh, I figured out how to make a diamond pickaxe." Like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." I figured out how to make a door that automatically opens and closes when I walk up to my house. Things like that. And I think I'm not exactly sure the steps you go from that experience to a good distance learning course. But I think what those kids are already doing is somehow the answer, right? To be able to take something that you're interested in, passionate about, and seek the answers for yourself, right? I mean, I think educators really have a lot to learn by looking at these existing gaming communities, how they support each other, how they disseminate knowledge. You mentioned Jim G before. He refers to these online communities as affinity spaces, right? You may have this group of, 10,000 players that are really passionate about this one game, but they're not necessarily interacting in the game. They're going to chat rooms and message boards, and they're sharing videos with each other. So he refers to those as affinity spaces. And, I think if you're designing a course to happen online, it's not just about that 1 hour a week where you're all in the chat room and you're sharing a video or something. It's about the larger experience and giving different avenues to share your knowledge and your passion about it.
Before we move on to the next question, a quick trivia question. The biggest wiki in the world is Wikipedia. Does anybody know what the second biggest wiki in the world is?
Minecraft. Yeah.
No, not. It's a good guess. It's a good guess, but it's not.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft is right. So when you talk about the immense human effort that goes into Wikipedia, gamers are driven to produce content. It's not just consuming. Our generation was consumers, and I still have problems with iPads in schools and tablets in schools because I see those as consumption devices. You can't give back. A PC, I haven't seen anything yet that matches what you can do with a PC with a keyboard and a mouse. Your ability to become a content producer, a publisher, distributor, a collector of knowledge, it's unmatched. And the Minecraft wiki is huge. But what I am noticing, I thought that because the World of Warcraft wiki was so large and because I was able to communicate in the way I'm comfortable, typing, reading, writing, I thought that's where we were headed. But I look at what my daughter does, and it's very visual. It is a lot of YouTube. I get frustrated with YouTube because I want to be able to scan a page or search a page for the text that I'm looking for. I can't do that with video yet. I have to watch the whole video, and I get impatient. But it's a visual literacy. There's a what I think is fascinating about YouTube. How long we've only had the bandwidth and the computer capacity to produce and distribute these videos for.
YouTube's only about 6 or 7 years old.
I think 2000.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, right. And we've just gotten to the point a lot of people have the bandwidth not just to upload them, but also to watch them, and watch them on a lot of devices. It's really exploded, and I haven't seen that happen in education yet. I think there's going to be a lot more video participation as our skill level raises and our awareness of how to use it effectively raises. But that's why I want to watch gaming spaces, because it's already happening.
What's our time? I mean, I don't want to eat up all our time talking and not playing, but
I think we
I feel like we've let Matt out. Hi, Matt.
Well, Shane told us we had to do that, but
Oh, okay, good.
say that out loud.
One time Rick listens.
Right.
That's so rare.
I've got we've got a couple more panel questions, but are there questions about anything we've been talking about so far?
So I'm watching your daughter.
Is she playing Minecraft right now?
Yeah. Character. Is that character an avatar by some other player?
Yeah.
How about when she sees a dog? Is that an animate object that's programmed to respond in certain ways that you have to learn its characteristics, or is that an avatar?
No, the dogs are probably computer generated. Yeah. There is not always a clear-cut answer. Usually, when you're playing Minecraft, if you see another player character, it's an actual human controlling that character. If you see an animal or a monster, it's usually the game controlling it. But Shane's map actually does have computer-controlled characters that you can interact with that he's put in as well. You can usually tell by like the color of the name or what it says. There are some other cues.
But that is a modification of the game. Someone developed the ability to interact with a non-player character, an NPC in the game. You have the ability to give them dialogue, so you can create dialogue trees. There could be question and answer. There could be quests. They could tell you to go get something. You get that item, you bring it back. There are rewards. You have factions. If you fight one guy, another guy will like you more. If you help one guy, somebody else will like you less. So there's a lot of teaching and learning opportunities within those simple rule sets in the non-player character mods.
One of the things I really suggest to people when they ask me why Minecraft is interesting is to spend time with, certainly all age groups appeal to it, but I mean the 7 to 9 year old male element, like they're kind of psychotic about Minecraft. My brother has 2 sons, 7 and 10. The 10-year-old, it's not totally his cup of tea, but the 7-year-old's really into it. And the kids will be sitting there and they're talking about pistons, or they're talking about redstone and making circle with redstone. And he's in his 40s, so he's like, I wasn't a gamer, right? So he immediately sort of like shuts out the opportunity that he could have by going in with them and saying, well, okay, so redstone operates this way in real life. I always tell Rick, I had a 5th grader, that I was interviewing, and I said, oh, you're using pressure plates, you're using pistons to make something. What's a piston? What else does a piston exist in real life? And he was like, oh, that's a Minecraft term, right? And there was an opportunity for a conversation, right? And that's
there's
like
pistons in your cars. There's pistons,
right. And that's
right.
like that was a as a researcher, I said nothing. Oh, well, that's a shame. But I had the conversation with it, but I think that's the essence of Minecraft, right? Is that yes, it can be an instructional space where you have students led in, the conversation starter, on a level.
And if you as an instructor be open to that experience yourself, it sets the tone for the students as well. They get excited about being able to teach you, but then they're also more comfortable asking questions themselves. I think Joel's right. I think I want to. We've still got a little over an hour left, so we do have time to get in and play. I did want to hit a couple of the questions that are on here that are a little different. Might incorporation of gaming at Philadelphia University increase retention of freshmen? I can
answer that. I have a guess, but I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah. Right? Let's study that. Experimental method.
Yeah. Sorry. Can we?
Matt, you know what? Let me grab Matt. Yeah. Matt, you're in college now.
Yep.
Give me your ideas about freshmen in college or any university students, what if you were tasked by the provost with saying, we have 20% of the kids leaving after freshman year, what can you do to help us feel more connected on campus? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think that could help for sure. I think in certain situations, I mean, you walk down the hallways of school, and I'm sure Rick, you see that, and everybody there sees it, that everybody's on their phone, everybody's on their pad or whatever. I mean, it's constant. All through classes, I'm sure all of the teachers there, they know they always have their students looking at their phone or whatever while they're teaching or while they're supposed to be learning. But um, I can see that using some sort of game to promote learning would be something that keeps people coming back. Like it would make a program or make a class or whatever a lot more notable than, well, I have to take this communications 101 class because the school makes me take it. So I'll just endure it and be done with it. But if it's created in such a way that the kids remember it and can actually, I don't know, interact and really identify with how the process goes. I mean, I can't see a downside to that.
I know at Temple, my big push is to get students involved without it being tied to learning. There are 3 groups that formed at Temple over the last year, 3 student organizations. There's a Temple University Gamers Guild, which meets a couple times a week, and they get together and they play games. And they also connect outside of those meetings and play games online.
Specifically video games, or are we also talking board games?
Specifically video games, although there are board game offshoots happening. But this was formed to be a video game specific group. Another group that's a smaller group interested in game development. And there's a third group that's an esports group. Now, I don't know how many people know that video games are competitive on an intercollegiate level. Informally, there are intercollegiate leagues. Universities play each other. And this has been happening for a long time. I know Joel's been involved in the Quake world a long time, where there's competitions that happen in person and online. I think I wrote down here that gaming is inherently social. The stereotype is that it's somebody in their basement and they don't talk to anyone else, stare at the screen, because that's what people watching someone play games sees.
Right.
But,
yeah. I mean, I think studies have shown, I can't quote exactly what, that it's the same people that are predisposed to isolate themselves. Yes, they find video games and then isolate themselves very effectively, but that is not the norm.
Yeah, for sure. Let me jump in there real quick. One of the things that people ask me why I play Minecraft all the time or why I'm involved with it, and the biggest thing I say is it's not totally about the game. It's about these guys that I've met here and the guys I talk to every day and the people that I interact with, and it really is the social aspect. And I can see that really helping a freshman coming in. You don't know anybody, and what better way to get to know people than to socialize in an environment where you all have common goals and things to do.
I can add to that. In our dining hall, there's a common area where all of the nerds get together. Then when you walk through, all the gamers are all being social with each other. And then, yeah, they're playing games and talking about them with each other, but they're all there together. And it's one of the tightest groups on campus, and I love to be around them because there's always something new going on. It's become like they've chosen a spot to gather and be social with one another, and they're social in this gaming aspect as well.
Can I do because again, I'm sorry to be a cluster, but I don't want to only talk about nerds and geeks and gaming. That's dangerous, right? Because there's a whole host of reasons that go into freshman retention. A lot of them are economic, which gaming can't really address. If you don't have the money to go to university, then it's tough. But can I ask what you think that question comes out of? Where it comes from? Yeah, like can I have some context as to why you think freshman retention is a problem here? I know why it's a problem at Temple. It's because you get ready to graduate and they're like, oh, you can't graduate yet. Why is it a
Well, we have
retention
issues.
And what do you think they come from? That I'm aware of.
I think
What do
a
you
lot
think
of
they come from?
colleges here
hate to lose someone that you've invested in and who's invested in you in some
Well,
sense.
I
Not
know
to have
why
a
it's a
happy second
problem.
marriage, then the world.
Sure, I know why it's a problem. I'm just interested in why your community, which is much more expert on the campus, like what you think some of the major barriers are that they could address. I mean,
But what are the
yeah.
barriers, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can,
and then
we'll
we
speak
can
to the
fill
game.
out.
Yeah.
I want to jump over that just for a second, because I
Okay,
it's in the realm of what can you do.
Yeah.
I think this would be cool for orientation. When the kid's first accepted, before he ever shows up, just get them playing together and structure it in such a way that it's Philadelphia University kinds of
Absolutely.
artifact. That would be a true thing.
Absolutely.
Be voluntary,
Cheaper,
but kids
too.
will start meeting each other.
Right, cheaper than
Long
going to
before they
camp.
show up here.
Right.
That's a phenomenal idea. I
I've floated
might
that-
recommend
I've
that
floated
to
that-
other
others.
universities that are,
Patent that one.
It's
if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
You don't
floated
want
that
to
idea
totally
at Temple that I want to do. You could do. I started building out the campus at Temple, and you could do an online orientation in Minecraft, and anybody who's got an account can sign up, or it could be part of, coming here. You maybe the part of the computer fees. You get an account. I don't know, however you want to set it up. But you could have students tour your entire campus
Yep.
long before they ever got on campus, and also meet other people in that space and
Your class.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
your
they
faculty.
did the Adirondacks together. They were sort of rolling around.
Well, I think you should do both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I
Yep.
think both has a place.
The advantage of the online is you can
Or
do
if
it.
one leads
They
to
can do it anytime,
Exactly.
from anywhere.
And
They
maybe
can be
one
on the
leads to
Appalachian
the other.
Trail,
Yes.
on my.
Yeah, or one maybe leads to the other. But did you guys have other? I'm interested because I hate to talk out of context about. Yeah. What do you
I
think?
mean, one of the things is that there are not enough students and too many seats, right? So that's a
Right.
universal sort of,
Alright, no
my
problem.
generation didn't have enough children to fill all of the
Okay.
seats.
Okay.
And so, once we get them,
Minecraft could be a
because
problem.
it's really.
I don't think Minecraft will help with that.
No, but I.
Oh, you see the other problem, Shane?
Yeah.
So, when you come here, having an understanding of yourself and what you want in college education, I
Right.
think is really important.
Right.
So is there a way that this can facilitate
That.
that conversation
Right.
and create community?
Right.
I would love to know the differences between if you set up a virtual campus and you put information about your program on a block.
Right.
How many people go to your website to find out about that program, and how many people go? Is somebody suddenly more interested in checking it out in a virtual space, or differently interested? I don't know.
To just ping on what you're saying, so what I'm hearing is that, yes, we get told, like, we need to work in college, right? So we go, and of course, your first year, you're stuck in one-on-ones, or you're stuck in remedial courses. It's really tough. So yes, I think Minecraft, one of the beauties of Minecraft is that it's a space where experts emerge who are not typically seen as the experts. And I saw that a lot in my dissertation work. Young students, some sad stuff, like students who suffered with depression.
You had the principal tell you that some of the students who were succeeding there were some of the worst kids in the school.
Absolutely. So you have some experts sort of emerge, and they get a role in the game, and it could be one of the many typologies, right? And then absolutely, I think that could contribute to retention.
Yeah.
The other thing about gaming is also that you can fail, right? Small incremental failures that give you confidence
Right.
to keep going.
Right.
So some of the kids need remedial classes, right? Like feel some
Yeah,
empowerment.
absolutely, and maybe they are already super empowered in Minecraft, but not in the classroom.
And that's one of those places where I'd say that you want to think about how games can change the way we think about teaching.
Yeah.
What if you made a space for a remedial student where you said, I want you to get this wrong 10 times, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like what we're going to do is we're going to help you figure out through those failures what you need to do to succeed. And we almost don't have time to do that. It's a challenge, but it's something to think about. How can we get from something that works really well in a hobby into a...
I mean, I remember this from my old college education. It's, you come through traditional schools and where, failure is just, there's some real ramifications. And I had to struggle. Like, I would rather, at the time, not do anything, drop the course, than I would, show up and do C-level work, right?
You don't want to be seen as struggling ever. You just want, right, yeah.
Right.
I know Olivia
But I
goes
wasn't
through
doing that in my games,
That
right?
still
I would
happens.
die and reload 8 times, and then I'd succeed. And but to me at the time, those were two completely different worlds, right? But we want.
You had a comment, Tim?
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a great TED Talk by Jane McGonigal who developed Sims and she talks about games bringing out our best selves. And one of the things is we'll happily fail. Like we fail in a game, we'll just reboot and start up. We die of fiery death and jump back. But in real life, obviously, when you fail, it's a much more serious consequence. So it's a great TED Talk.
I think that's where I got the thing about the Warcraft wiki. I think I stole it from her talks, in case she's watching.
I would say as a caveat, though, that if that's going to be the approach, it has to be explicit that you as the instructor are playing, and it's okay to fail, because remember, as soon as, and this happened in my dissertation, as soon as we brought the game in the classroom, it took a couple weeks to be like, oh, I can really play Minecraft. I don't have to play Minecraft in front of my teacher and then not really be, you know what I mean? So this culture is rare to that. So we have to really let our students know that it is okay, and we're going to treat it exactly like the game. And it's not going to be like, oh, well, you can't come to Philly because you died by zombies. So it's not that typical classroom failure.
And there's also, if you did do something like that, if you did the Minecraft orientation, I would not expect everything to be, hunky-dory and roses. Somebody may say something inoffensive, right? Somebody may build something offensive. Somebody may say something offensive or build something. Just like they might in those orientation groups, right? But there's the opportunity to sort of surround the issue as a community and figure out, what's acceptable behavior or not.
I just want to modify a couple of my remarks, because I think the most important thing in that orientation is to have them playing together. And it could just be Minecraft. I don't care if every now and then there's a picnic with Philadelphia University, but I'd have them just playing where they do some of that bonding. I just leave it like that. Let it be play. Let them be playing with each other. Give them free accounts. They're playing with each other when they show up here. They're looking forward to meeting each other.
Just having it
become
Philadelphia University, just having that name there.
I think that's
would
exactly
brand it.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's
One of the
exactly
challenges.
You become part of your tuition fees.
right. Yeah.
I just wanted to comment on I'm not sure which gentleman was commenting about the school and the orientation, but a lot of times I'll get asked why I developed the map and the way I use Minecraft the way I did, and you're in one of my maps. This is just one lesson that branches off of my school map. So the kids actually helped create my school campus, and the reason we started with that was I wanted them to be somewhere familiar, so they wouldn't feel so intimidated right away. So the fact that they understood this is the school, they're familiar with this. Now, of course, you're going from a different direction where they're not familiar with the school, but you want them to get familiar with it. But the concept of using the campus is great, because I can tell them, okay, let's head to the 6th grade classroom, and they all know where to go. Let's head to the cafeteria, and they all know where to go. And then we'll teleport from there to a world like this that we're in right now to do our lessons. But we always come back to the campus map, which also has an area that they own, which means that they're able to build their own house and accumulate their own things on that same map.
Speaking of this, there's one more question here about how gaming can be used across a wide range of disciplines. I'm very interested in that. I think it could be a long conversation, and I would like to get us in playing also. If you have discipline-specific questions, Maria and I are all going to be right here. You can say, I teach geography, and what are people doing? We can address that, but I would like to maybe, I was thinking, Shane, maybe you could, or whoever wants to screen share remotely, we can see Minecraft up here, and then we can also be logged in on the computer here. And
yeah, I think, so maybe Shane will introduce the world, and then we might sort of take a step back and do step-by-step.
Right, you're right. That'd be a good idea. Shane, do you want to?
Okay.
I can do a little introduction on how to control the game. I know people have been playing with it, but
I think pretty much everybody's been doing that while we've been talking, because I see everybody running around, except you, Joel. You're exactly where you were when we started talking. So.
Do you want to grab the screen share?
I lost my chair.
Yeah, one sec.
No.
Okay, hope that helps.
I'm
No?
flying.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Someone I met in
A
mine.
little bit jittery, yeah.
That's not nerdy, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I never.
Do you want me to try since I'm closer?
How's that look? Yeah, here, I'll let you go ahead take it. I gotta turn mine off, yeah. There, try go ahead, Matt.
Matt, if it doesn't work out for you, I could do it from here also, just because we are here. But I think I'd rather be walking around helping if it's needed. We do have
Mhm.
it here, but
I mean, it's not terrible if I do it. It's not incredibly laggy because we'll probably just be going to general areas, and then I can sit and talk about it while you guys actually participate. So
well, if you're going to talk and Shane's and Matt's going to be doing the screen share, you can tell him where he has to go.
oh, I'll do that. See, I knew I'd make Elfie
Remember
laugh.
what I said before? Remember what I said before about we might hang on each other, but we're actually really supportive. I promise, guys, we are.
We do love each other, just like brothers. So. Actually, if I could get everybody to come back to the starting area where Joel is, where I am, actually I could just teleport you all here. The power of MinecraftEdu. Except I can't teleport the teachers. Oh yes, I can.
Yeah, I am not me in the game.
Oh, okay. Anybody is not back at the start, I can teleport you here. Olivia's not, but she knows how to get back here.
All right, so
Okay.
go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Shane.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is this is a start area of my maps. What I try to do is create, basically I try to create an environment where they first teleport into the world, they're not completely disoriented. What they'll do is they'll come over here, and this is part of the whole digital citizenship stuff that we talk about. Because at first, the kids will do this. You know, they're supposed to come over here, click this button, and get a journal. But they'll be jumping all over the place and trying to get in front of people and cutting and all this stuff. And we'll actually talk about that. We'll talk about how nobody's going to get anywhere, and we won't get started until you guys have learned to work together to be cooperative. So they'll come over here, they'll grab a journal, click that button if anybody wants to grab a journal. Matt, if you could grab the journal and actually open it up, since you're screen sharing, and I'll be talking. So, where's Matt? He's not here. Oh, there he is. I don't see you, Matt. You're invisible. Oh, you must be invisible because you disappeared. Okay, I'll just watch your screen. There. Okay, so in this journal, if Matt opens up the journal, everybody can take a look. You don't have a journal. Step on the glowstone there, sir. I'd give you mine, but I can't see you.
All right.
This is actually a way of the students writing down either reflections, any type of comprehension, any type of homework, basically, or assignments. So I actually have my kids write in their journals. They'll have a title page, they'll have question 2, 3, and they'll go through it. Now, at the end of a lesson, they'll actually come over here where it says homework deposit, and if I put my journal in here, it disappears and gets put to a private or secret box that is behind here that nobody can see. The kids can't get to it. So they can't mess with other people's homework. So in that sense, it's just a system that I developed that works for me and my class, and the kids really enjoy doing the work this way versus doing any kind of pencil and paper homework. Now, just recently, as recent as last night, I found out I have a mod that I can actually take that journal and create an actual Word document out of it.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome, I think. So they can completely do everything digital, and if the homeroom teacher or another teacher just wants a copy of it, I can just get a Word document for them and print it out. I'll typically start off my map with the standards we'll be using, and then the kids will wander off. Very nice, Olivia. I like your table and chair. So this happens to be standards in all 4 grade levels I worked with. If you come over here across the bridge and head over here, come on over here. I can teleport you guys again if you need, but some people might disappear.
If anyone's having trouble moving around, raise your hand. Joel or Peter. Or
Yeah, I mean, I was going to
over
actually just give the 3-minute introduction to movement controls.
Is anybody feeling
Yeah.
up with the movement?
Yeah, okay.
Go for it, Joel. Go ahead.
All right,
Okay,
so
let's do.
So this is, I mean, this is a totally alien way to interface with a game, especially if you've only ever used like or nothing. So You're going to be using the mouse and the keyboard. Put your left hand, if you're lefty, or if you're righty, put your left hand on the left side of the keyboard. Put your middle finger on the W key. Here's the only thing you really have to remember. W stands for walk. If you hold down the W button, you will move your character forward in a straight line. You steer yourself with the mouse. So put your right hand on the mouse, and you can aim left, right, and up, down as well. The metaphor I think works well with adults, but not kids because they don't drive yet. It's like driving. W is the gas pedal. As long as you're holding down W, the car or your character will move forward. And the mouse is the steering wheel. You'll aim yourself. And then you should be able to hit the space bar with your left thumb, and that will cause your character to jump. So if you want to go up an incline like this, you hold forward so you have some forward momentum and jump, jump, jump. It's the space bar.
I don't know.
So here, you were in chat. If you hit the escape button, you'll drop back into regular player control. So now it's W to walk. So you were, so great question. So this gentleman just asked, where am I? So this is a first-person game. You are seeing out of your own character's eyes. So you won't necessarily see yourself in the game world, which is extremely disorienting to people, and I never quite understood that because that's how we experience the real world. For some reason in video games, people want to see their character and be able to control it.
It's F5 if you want to see your character.
That's true. It is possible to see your character.
I was trying to tease it off, but
So F5. If I don't find that helps. But now the camera has pulled back. Now you're backwards here. So now the camera's behind you. So if you
Yeah, my students find that when they're in that F5 mode, that it's hard to interact with objects because it's behind, it's in front of you.
Did our first playthrough?
is forward.
She was trying to go for the
I don't think students
tutorial
can.
world. She was
S.
so frustrated. It was fantastic.
White women can't jump.
That's right. You got so mad. You looked like me when I was playing, like, well, really any game.
So see if you can follow that path. See if you can go where it leads.
Am I supposed to be following? Am I supposed to be going there to the auditorium?
I'm not sure. Shane, what are we supposed to be doing?
Oh, come on over here. Come across the bridge, and then come on over this way where I'm flying.
Oh, is this one?
Yeah. I'm kind of just hovering over here. Is that J Deep who's swimming under the water? Come that turn your body around and look this way. Turn your mouse around.
Down that step. It's if you want to go up, then it's space bar.
They're limiting.
So now bring your point of view back up. So because right now you're looking down at the floor. So if you push the mouse up, there you go. It's disorienting.
Actually,
And some people find it counterintuitive. They think pushing up should look down, but give yourself a chance to acclimate to the control.
one of the professors, they have godlike abilities. Oh yeah.
Working it out there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm actually not familiar with this map.
Yeah, if you just come across the bridge here and then follow the light wood path.
Follow
Yeah.
the light wood path.
Yeah. The birchwood path, but I didn't know if anybody would recognize birchwood, so.
Should have made it a yellow brick. Then you could have said, follow the yellow brick road.
Oh, yellow brick road. Okay. Are we all over this side now, or is there still somebody back there? I can't tell. Oh, I see Kimberly and J Deep. If you guys want to head over this way, can you see me flying here with the fish in my hand? No? J Deep, if you turn around 180 degrees and then walk this way. Kimberly's heading the right way. J Deep is heading completely the opposite direction right now. There you go. Go backwards. Now turn your mouse around 100. Turn your mouse around to your the opposite direction, so you're walking forward. Right now you're walking backwards.
What is the etiquette? What is the social norm? Walk through.
Yes.
invasion of personal space.
That
Go
was
away. You have to ask for permission before you walk through another character.
That
What are they called?
How about we bring J Deep over?
Yep.
All right. I'm over here now. There's J Deep. I don't see that name in here. Interesting. You see them, Matt? I don't see their name in here in my list.
Is it an NPC?
I don't know. Maybe it is. No, it could be. It's got a white name tag. So.
Yeah. Maybe they're not really here. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so moving on. If you're over here where Elfie's standing and where I'm flying around, okay, so everybody's kind of inside there. If you come on the outside, this is where I used the this area to demonstrate to the kids what a pictograph was. So I actually had them, I just picked random 4 kids, like where Maria was standing just inside that pen. And this first one, what they would do was they would go through and clear all the grass in there. When you break grass in the game, it'll actually give you seeds. And then they would graph their seeds in the pictograph. Elfie's got to have chair. You like that chair, don't you? You're gonna play Bibliocraft. I know you are. It's a great mod, I'm telling you. You just didn't believe me before. Matt's breaking stuff. I can't see whoever's down there. Must be Matt.
Yep.
I think we're still finding ways to move, I think. I'm not sure. I can't tell what's going on over there.
Is the antidote to that, right? Yeah, but sunlight is the best.
That's not Joel controlling Joel, is it?
I think so.
That is not true.
Okay, I was going to say, he's moving around very slow.
You guys have those little chairs.
Oh, those guys are hacking over there. They're using a mod, one of the mods that's in the game. So, you guys could have been nice and gave Maria a chair, you know.
I know.
So I was mostly working with
Oh,
second
thank
grade,
you.
so 7 and 8 girls. I didn't know. Probably don't care. Yeah.
Otherwise, you sit on your chair, right? Oh, there's all chairs.
Oh, I see. I think you're
How do
all
you
supposed
sit
to go
on your chair?
Probably right click.
Right click on the leg, Maria.
Click on the leg. Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, and then to get off of it, it's left shift.
Right. Thanks, Shane.
Just like a pet or a riding thing.
So this, okay, because you are appearing as Joel in the world. When they were saying Joel's moving on character.
Like Joel's just learning how to play the game almost. Did you create this game?
He didn't do it. Yeah, no, he didn't do anything to do with this. He's brand new to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just a pretty face.
And it was.
So,
Did you know you can put
I
carpet on that,
just,
Elfie?
I'm assuming you guys can still hear us.
We can hear
This
you.
is a Minecraft classroom. Like, we're hearing a whole heap of discussion and noise, and it's all great stuff. But you're all collaborating. You're all helping each other out. What happens in a classroom with students is one student will know what they're doing, and they will get to where they want to be, and then they will actually get up and do what Joel and Rick, I assume, are doing, go around and help others get there, help them learn how they need to move, how to get around to where they need to be. So it really does foster that massive amount of collaboration when you put yourself, and I understand how awkward it is, but when you put yourself into an environment like this that is different and it is out of your comfort zone, yeah, a lot of the students tend to help each other out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm pretty sure I've heard Elfie doing this. I do this in my class a lot. Is I'll actually take my little Minecraft experts and empower them to be little TAs for me. The glow that those kids get when they realize that something they've been told is, oh my gosh, you're doing too much of that, becomes valuable in the classroom is pretty awesome. So.
First came in and I social characters.
I think they're all in the fishing area. That's why some of them just went over there. DRW and Joel were over fishing. So for Jeff and actually everybody here, I'm just going to dump a bunch of fish on the ground and they kind of show you what I would have the kids. Actually, if you can come over here, Elfie, come on over here to this one. Where are you? Maria is our only one watching us. So. If you open up this chest, it'll give you some Chuck Norris heads, and we would just ask the kids informally about who had fish that night or who had chicken, and I actually have the kids graph it for me on here, kind of demonstrating that the idea of a pictograph. Maria can come graph too if she wants. If she thinks she can make it over here, and DRW, if you want to grab some from this chest here, you can grab some Steve's heads and put them up on the wall. There you go. Yeah. So you can graph the chicken or you can graph the steak. At one point, I even put spider eyes up there, and the kids thought that was pretty funny. So.
Matt's OCD got him. You didn't have a space in that.
Gotcha. Well, when I have to make all the signs up right away, it's like, oh.
I did have pork, so. Now, here's where a discussion. Oh, you're just okay. So I was going to say, here's where a discussion can happen because Maria started her graph out here, but now I see what she's doing, so it's all good.
See, different thinkers, but she got the same thing done, right?
Yes.
So this, I try to do this as much as I possibly can in most of my lessons. Is I'll actually have an area where I'm demonstrating for them first, modeling, and then they'll actually go and use a game mechanic to gather their data to then graph on their own. So it looks like Jeff put a sign behind his head here. So I'll just, oops. I don't know. It seems like it's not really there. Oh, pork and beans. Nobody's got humor. So nobody graphed for steak? Nobody had steak last night in the room? You have to open up that chest, Jeff. If you right-click on that chest, you'll get the heads. You have to, I don't think you can stand on it, though. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can stand. Now go ahead and just right-click on those on the wall, and you can actually graph on the wall. Yeah, little Chuck Norris heads, I think. I don't know. The kids don't know who Chuck Norris is, by the way, or at least my kids don't.
With some college students about Lauryn Hill, they had no idea who she was. Or Kurt Cobain.
So the reason that this, I mean, at least the reason the kids find this map engaging is they get to craft their own fishing rods. So I'm teaching them little bits about Minecraft they may not have known. I'm teaching them about how to actually fish in Minecraft. I'll actually do this timer up here. So this is kind of more of a, it looks like Elfie was up here breaking my timer. There's a button missing.
No.
So if you notice on the right of your screen now, there's a timer with 120 on it. So I've actually created an in-game timer where this will actually count down, and the kids will have X amount of minutes to fish. Once they're done fishing, they'll come inside this central area where you guys were originally, over here where, who is this? Me is. And they'll break up into groups, small groups, and graph how many fish they've gathered. I can barely hear whoever that was.
Okay,
It just said, can you hear me?
I don't know where the mic is.
The lake was right here, so it's right. If you come right back through here. Actually, if anybody wants to try making a, if anybody wants to try to make, can you see me, Maria, or am I still invisible because I teleported?
No, I can see you. Can you hear me better though?
I can hear you now. Yeah. If you turn around and come back this way, come back out this way.
I actually was asking where the mic was, not the lake.
Oh, the mic. Sorry. I thought you said the lake. I was like, it's the big water area in the center.
I'm like, wow, she's getting a PhD. No, I just want to know what the kids. I was just wondering what your students. First of all, I'm sure I can't imagine that your students don't stalk you at home because you're probably the most awesome teacher ever.
I have a lot of kids on my Google Plus, yes.
But also, do they talk about how it affects their personal gaming? Like when you give them quests, do you get a lot of kids inducted into?
I do. I get a lot. Well, if what you're asking is like, does it affect them outside of the classroom? I get a ton of kids who will, you know, they'll actually send a message over. I guess Hangouts now. They're all Hangouts when they send Google messages, but they'll send me ideas. Oh, Mr. Ostline, can we do this? Oh, can we do this? What about this and this? They'll actually send mod ideas, and you know, I've actually taken mods they've suggested. I'll evaluate it, and if I think it's educational or I can use it,
right,
I have no problem putting it in.
Of course.
Because it just enhances my gameplay, right? So they love this kind of stuff, and you know, one of the things that I guess is underrated is the engagement of the lesson is almost directly proportional to the problems you're going to have, and that's with any teaching, right?
Okay.
So a lot of the teachers I hear say, "Oh, is there a way to lock this down or lock that down?" Or if you've noticed, nothing's locked down in here. You guys can break any block in here, but
Right.
I don't have any issues with that because the kids are so busy and so engaged. They want to catch as many fish as possible. They want to come in here and graph it.
Yeah.
If I don't know if Rick showed the video of the kids playing in this, but I had one kid on this panel here. His OCD kicked in. He was rotating his fish so they all lined up the same way. He wanted his graph to be perfect, right? So.
Okay.
And then they use that in-game journal system to go around to all 8 areas and try to calculate mean, median, and mode for the fishing tournament.
Oh, all right.
Who got the most? Who won the tournament? Who came in? You know. Unfortunately, who came in last, but the good thing is it's never just one person.
No,
Fishing is really hard, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
I just, like what I hear you saying, and just for the application on the higher ed level or the higher ed side, is that, you know, yeah, you're introducing them to a few things, and then it stimulates this whole firestorm of, oh, we should do this, we should do this.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, you know, one of the things, like last year that I was towards the end of the year was splitting time between being a higher ed instructor and, you know, working with 7th and 8th graders. And it was so sad because here they were, 19, 20-year-old people with probably beautiful, full, fruitful social lives. And they were complete mummies in the classroom because of the way I had time and space to teach. And it was such a contrast between spending time with the 7th and 8th graders, because when I would play Minecraft with them, they were always suggesting things to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, absolutely. I mean, that's awesome.
You know, I think it goes back to the idea of turning people from consumers into producers.
Yeah.
You know, I've taught kids that played plenty of Minecraft before. They were on these sort of deathmatch servers with their friends. They were mining diamonds. They were consuming the game.
Right.
But as soon as they spent a few weeks with me going, oh, wow, Mr. Levin made this experience. He made an adventure for us. And they usually go, well, I could do better than Mr. Levin.
Yeah, they're competitive.
And tell me, yep.
They're making their own combat arenas. They're making their own mazes and puzzles for each other.
We had a lot of students who, in the 7th and 8th grade level, they would go home and sort of mock build our project on Xbox and try it out, and then be so much more sort of equipped once we did.
Yep.
So that homework doesn't stop.
We don't have our server open to the outside, but I've actually had the kids find my maps on the World Share from TG.
Yeah, they were always trying to get in. Always like, can we do this at home?
You know, I have a tutorial world that I use to teach people how to play the game.
Yeah, I've been in.
And you know, I've had kids ask me, can I get the tutorial world at home? I want to teach my mom. I want to teach my grandma. But I've also had there's this one kid in particular I can think of that said, Mr. Levin, I'm building my own tutorial world to teach my mom how to play. And I'm like, you know,
that's what you want.
Yep, exactly.
That was a
awesome moment. Yeah, that's an awesome moment.
Rick, are you still there?
Rick is coming.
Okay.
I was going to say,
do you
back
have
to what
the-
we were just talking about.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Shane.
No, I was just going to
I was
ask
just
if
gonna
you have the ability to play video for everybody. No?
I could.
So you're back in third person mode.
Or you could. Or you want to send me a link to it?
That one that was in the Google Drive.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can play it on mine, and then I don't know if it'll screen share well, but
Blocks like this or information.
well, Matt would have to stop screen sharing though, so.
Yeah,
Pick off
I
your
can
screen
play
share
it
for a
too
second.
as well.
Oh, you have the one about the just play the one from the
Behind yourself,
the
but
Egypt one.
across your
I think I'm going to say.
Sorry, Alfie, go ahead. While he gets that.
I was just going to mention the whole lesson design thing and the activity design that you go through, Shane, and how the students get their eyes opened by seeing what a good lesson in Minecraft is, and that's where their ideas come from. You know, they see what you do here, and they know the game mechanics as well as you do, and they take what they see you do, and they take that home and they say, well, this is what I would like to be able to do as well, and then they share that to you.
Right. Exactly. Yep. It does exactly that. It sparks so many ideas from the kids, and I've even seen their development just in game, just having them build something they'll see something that either I've done or somebody on YouTube has done, and they'll incorporate that into their build style. And to me, that's that's awesome, because that's how I learned how to play Minecraft. I watched Elfie's videos, and I watched Matt and Elfie play on their server, and then I finally got invited to be in the cool group, and and then of course that was all it. That was the end of the story. Now we're collaborating. I mean, I collaborate almost every night with these guys, and even with the guys in Finland on the development team. So just that collaboration alone is worth the whatever this costs to play, to do. So or
Shane,
the
which
hours
video-
it takes me.
Which
The
video?
one that's the Egypt one.
Egypt. Okay.
Yeah.
Rick just suggested you leave it till later, guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Rick.
No, it's okay.
I was just gonna. The only reason I was gonna show that is the benefits of, because this is of course a lesson, formula lesson, but Joel mentioning the fact that kids will go out and do something better. I created an Egypt map that I thought was good, and they actually wanted to recreate it more realistic, and these are the things that they built to enhance my new map. That's the video that I was going to show you guys.
Yeah. So these are workbenches over there.
Do
You walk up to those.
you have a link for that? I'll throw it up.
Closer, and then
Yeah. It's in that.
I have the
Yeah,
link.
hang on. Let me find it.
Switch over on mine.
Matt, you have the link or no?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
so okay. So this is how you create things.
Might be better if you played it locally though, yeah, Rick, because it's
Yeah, I'll do
not
that.
Yeah.
going through ours. Okay.
Creates the item in
That's
Um,
my email on a
So in
live
this
hangout.
case, we're going to use
Here, here, here.
make the fishing rod. So I'll tell you the pattern. You pick it up with
No, that's not it.
rock.
Yeah, I got it here.
Okay.
We actually want 3 sticks on the diagonal
Okay, Rick, I'm putting it in the Google chat here.
because experience.
I don't know if that'll go to the folder or to the actual video, but it's in there.
Bad at showing you how to play.
Can you send me access
So
on
yeah,
the account I'm
we'll
signed
just
in on?
put the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
What do you? Just pop your email in the bottom there, and I'll copy and
I
paste
don't
it
think
over.
you should see a request.
You got to take Minecraft
I
logic. So
clicked
everything
on
Oh,
request
it's in the request. Okay, hang on.
left click to pick it up.
This technology stuff's complicated.
To drop it. You always do the Mac users. Okay, perfect. So put the sticks.
How'd that go? Did it go through?
Now pick up the string and do there and there. And do you see how you kind of drew a picture of a?
Oh, it's my normal time to wake up.
You were thinking a little too logically. So there you go. So put that down. Now it's showing you
Did
what.
it share? I can't tell. It didn't
No,
go through.
actually, take that item. So put that.
Still
you
tell me
might
to
have to
request
put the
access at this address.
You're using your Gmail one, right? I'll just copy and paste it. It's
From the
easier.
resources, and now you've got a fishing rod. So if you put that in the lower area.
What did I give? Oh, I gave you one in your temple one. That's why.
Say close this window.
I wish
So
Oh,
now,
yeah, there you go. So you can view it now, Rick. You should be able to.
you see there's a outline, but you can switch to the fishing rod either by using the
Alright,
mouse
got it.
wheel.
Is the Egypt
or
Adventure video?
by
The Egypt Adventure one, yeah. It's a creative mode build session with kids over Christmas break, by the way. So they volunteered to do this just to make the map better for next year's kids.
Right click to cast your rod. So if you go walk over to.
I'm going to wait for a break in the conversation here,
You
and then
are-
I'll...
you are-
No problem.
you
Yep.
are- The box around it means that's what's in your hand.
I wish I would have gotten direct instruction from the Minecraft teacher when I started.
The
That would've been
Minecraft
awesome.
teacher, yeah.
I only had Elfie
You
and
got-
Matt.
I'll tell you, you got the second best thing, mate.
So you might want to walk up a little closer.
Can I stop your timer, man? It's
Oh,
it's
sorry.
doing my head.
It's way in the negative now. Just reset the button. Hit the reset button. It'll stop and disappear. Oh, you gotta turn it off first. There. Okay.
F5.
I want to find a creative way to hide that. Maybe put a cloud underneath it or something. I'll build a cloud.
Oh my god.
It's kind of ugly in the middle there.
You could just have a teleport block and hide it anyway.
True. Yeah. And then
Put it
I
up
only
the
did
ground and
one.
just
So now if you right
Yeah,
click,
that's good.
you should cast
So I have 3 of them on this map.
um,
Good idea. Or maybe I'll hide it under the bandstand here. The bleachers.
you want to go back to
well, why not? I mean,
It's
we could
wasted.
teach it away.
Yeah, I can just put a border block around it so they can't get in.
Yeah. So while they're all doing stuff,
This
you
is
thought more
this
about
is
what we were
interesting.
talking about today.
I'm sorry.
Olivia's
I know
having
she's
fun
got her own
creating a
little
house.
DJ station. Somebody likes Bibliocraft. Look at she's going all crazy.
Actually done much fishing.
I wish I could get those mailboxes to work. That would be really cool. Teaching kids about email in game.
When it bobs, I believe you click right click again, and that recalls it. And if you time it, if you right click just when you see the bob, you should get a fish. So
I just got a message. Now playing this record. Look at you.
Yeah.
Get on a little DJ station.
again, I think that was a little too far.
That's cool.
So
Joel,
should
you
we-
might also be running into lag issues too with fishing. That's hard when there's so many people connected from so far away.
If they're local, though, it should be alright.
True.
Yeah, mine
yeah.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I was able to catch a couple, which I was surprised at. So since I'm pretty bad.
I haven't tried.
One university, and we're just connecting to a server at another local in the same town. It should be pretty good.
Gotcha. Okay. It's funny watching the kids in this map when they all spread out and there's like 100 fishing or 30 fishing rods all trying to get fish. And you always get that one student who stands on top of another student and then they take their fish. So you gotta talk to them about that. And
Do the lines ever get tangled?
no, I've never seen that yet. So I do see this every now and then though. So this is something else I gotta watch for. And where's my? Give me a fishing rod here. Now where'd that duck
You got
go?
one? I've got one.
You can actually inadvertently catch fish or catch ducks too. So and animals. Here, Olivia's horse over there.
Oh.
Oh, it's lagging. There you go. Oh, it's tied to the post. It just can't come over here. She's a good owner. She actually locked it down.
But I think what you're talking about, he was saying,
But it really, it doesn't matter what the learning.
haven't I given as much intent?
Even if they're
It's funny when you accidentally catch a squid and he comes flying at you. It's kind of scary. This big black blob comes flying at you.
It's interesting, it's not necessarily what can I do right now, but where does this need to go to accomplish that? But I think that's a conversation people are having. And
Now, although it sounds like it's hurting them, it's actually not.
My damage indicator. Which one have you hit? No, these guys still have 4 or 4. It's just the red indicator flash and whatever, but it's not actually damaging them. So I've seen kids use it creatively to actually like bring it closer so they could catch it.
Yeah.
like the ocelots or something. I've seen them do that, but
Oh, I've never done it with an ocelot. That's interesting.
yeah. When on my other map, the triathlon, where they have to do the pig riding, they pull their pigs back that way sometimes, especially when the carrot gets eaten and all they're left with is the fishing rod. So
Yeah.
yeah, very creative, some of them. See that you can hear that learning that happens. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before. This is a typical Minecraft lesson.
Yep, for sure. Olivia, do you know you can put those carpets on the chairs if you want a different colored chair seats? Try come put those on that blue carpet in your hand. Put on the bottom of the chair seat.
She's saying yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, and she just broke her table.
You're a horrible person. Look,
I
you made her
didn't
break
do
the
it.
table. I saw you do it.
What do you make a fishing rod? Sticks and sticks with how many?
Now, if I was on my
The
laptop,
recipe-
yes, because my
Recipe's there,
trackpad is.
Maria. Recipes on the wall here,
Mhm.
above the crafting table.
And by stepping across that plate, you should have gotten all the materials you needed.
I think I just got them.
Oh, okay. Just go back over that plate, Maria. This gray plate here, and you'll get all the materials you need.
He's so good. Okay, recipe.
And actually, this one here, to me, I think on this map, this is my third favorite. The other two are more my favorite maps, or my favorite parts of this map: the archery tournament and the graphing zone.
Yeah,
So,
the wood cutting.
the wood cutting one, yeah, are my favorites to work with the students with.
Hmm.
Mostly because students don't find fishing very entertaining, or they don't like it for too long. That's why I only do like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minute fishing tournaments. So.
Are we going to explore the other areas too?
I don't know where they're at.
I think everyone's just
all engaged in fishing, so.
Yeah. There's more to Minecraft than fishing.
no, there's not.
No, it's really not.
It's the whole game's about fishing, yeah. This whole, I don't even know why they called it Minecraft. Should we say Fishcraft?
No, not even craft, just fishing.
Just fishing, period.
Fishing Simulator 2014.
I don't think they would have sold as much. Ooh, a game about fishing.
Our lines kind of are crossed.
They're crossed, but they won't interfere with each other. You know what? Just as you guys are engaged in this, what's interesting about this is the process that it takes to go from the raw materials to what you guys are doing right now. Of course, I gave you sticks and string, but in a survival game, you wouldn't just be given that stuff. You have to actually go earn it and get it. So.
Yes, through organization, he's working with the World Public Library. They want to do a Minecraft day, like a 6-hour Minecraft.
Peter's tired of fishing with you guys. He's flying on the other side. He's like, I need my own space to fish.
Literature, right? And so
What's loud, Alfie? Me? Or?
The focus should not be the combat. It should be sort of the social setting of the books, the haves, the have-nots. Power dynamics. So Minecraft has the notion of.
Oh my gosh, she found the guns. Livy is supposed to be showing everybody how it's a good thing, not a.
Oh, that is loud. Wow.
So naughty. Speaking of, on the B team server, you know those dino swords that you find, and reanimate or fix them.
Mm-hmm.
Those things, you hear that on the entire server when I use it.
Nice.
I'm like, what? That's awesome. It's like a big thunderclap you hear. Also, Matt, it works for making your luggage, that super luggage thing. It's like a controlled strike of lightning, but you better pick it up before the fire kills it. So
yeah,
I've done that too.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up with these players that aren't on the list.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of people in here, but they're not showing up in the other one.
That's weird.
You're right, Maria. That is very loud.
Doing it in a Minecraft club, and they quickly realize, well, I can just eat the raw food, and I sometimes get sick, but then I'm okay again. Okay, so.
I can't hear Maria's screen. Oh, because you guys are hearing the in-game sounds on that end. I've got sounds turned off, probably. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Olivia. Whose child is that? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wait, that's Elfie. Never mind.
No, I don't have that in my pack. What are you talking about?
See what you did, Olivia. You sparked Elfie's curiosity now.
See, I picked up a gun earlier, and I was like, no, this is not a good idea.
No. Not for this environment, at least. Look at Matt doing a great job flying around the map. Maybe go fly over to the archery range map and show them all the archery range.
I just did. I did a minute.
Want to head over there.
But I didn't want to go through and give everybody bows and everything if they weren't going to
Nope.
go over there.
There's you
It's
should be able to click the
it's
button
at-
and give it to them.
Yeah, it's at all, so.
Click it and see what happens. They might be like, ooh, a new toy. Look.
Yeah.
Ah.
I have a weapon. That was all.
And half of the people in here are in his students too. That's not good. Oh, but he doesn't know how to shoot it. So, oh, there he goes. Look out.
Most trivial.
Yeah, I mean,
Olivia, turn around.
Peter is attacking everybody.
Oh my.
Way to go, Matt. Good job.
Wasn't me.
Don't hit the clear all button though, because they'll get rid of their fishing rods and they'll really be upset.
Yeah.
no. Somebody was like, whose child is that? And it was
Here's another map I did. So, and this is like create people, teams that aren't in competition, but the things that they need to accomplish their separate goals.
Oh,
Where there weren't teams, but
Shane, how do you get up? Oh, here it is. Never mind, found it.
What's that?
I was going to ask how you got upstairs in your archery range, but I've found the stairway.
It's called creative mode.
Flying. Hello. So it was weird, actually. You know, on my map, there's an NPC that's here by this dock, and it was causing like a fatal error thing whenever I would fly over it.
Okay.
It was kind of weird. I had to like fly over each one and see which one was causing it and delete it.
Yeah, guns don't work, Olivia. What sort of shooting range is this?
It's an awesome shooting range. What are you talking about? Check this out.
It is an awesome shooting
12
range.
targets. The highest I've ever seen a kid doing this was 10 out of 12.
Wow.
But I don't know how he got those back ones. I was
These
like,
fire ones are hard, yeah.
Where are you, Matt?
Where am I? Second row?
Yeah, second floor.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yes. I really appreciate you sharing.
I missed.
Oh, you're invisible, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're on the
got
end
the
here.
teleport bug.
Gotcha.
Well, actually, technically, we have the teleport bug, right? Or no?
Yeah, is this helpful?
not immediately thinking a way to do it out of the box with Minecraft, but in that Minecraft is flexible, customizable.
Uh-oh.
No, that's dangerous.
You know Peter has a weapon, right? That top, the top right corner one is hard.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it's just hard.
The top right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you almost have to aim at one of the other ones to hit it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, I'm going to hit it, but it actually goes through fine. Yeah.
But again, it's another opportunity.
That's easy, I got it first shot.
You got it first shot? Olivia got it. I just saw it went off, though.
Yeah, mine just went off as well.
Yeah.
It's different, though, when you actually only have 12 arrows and not unlimited arrows.
Well, I've hit a target on each shot so far.
Sure. I don't see any video evidence of that.
No, I'm not recording, you're right.
Let's see, so.
Oh, I missed that one.
People are always sort of throwing their curriculum at my feet and saying, okay, now what can I do with Minecraft? And, I understand Minecraft very well, but I don't.
Oop, just broke your minecart.
Way to go. This would be a
That's
deduction,
it.
yeah? I should tell the kids
I'm just
that's a
gonna go
deduction
jump
if you
off.
break it.
Just gonna go jump off the building.
So rude. Why are you going to be so rude to me?
To you? Just because you deserve it.
Mm-hmm. I deserve it, of all people.
Hmm. You may not believe it, but it's true.
I've been doing this, sorry, I started using it myself in my own classroom a little over 3 years ago. Almost into it. Well, yeah. And then it started to
I had to change all the NPCs because nobody's using the texture pack in here. So Matt came in, he's like, all your NPCs are purple and black. Like, oh, darn it. That's going to be terrible.
moving the number
number of activities unless it's a
And then also can be used, as Elfie suggested, as a.
I think it's only going to increase.
I hear that gun again. There. Does it actually do any damage, or is it just kind of?
I don't know. Put yourself in health mode and turn. Yeah, just put yourself.
there are a
No,
lot
no,
of
don't.
things-
You don't need. No, don't enable PvP. But if you put yourself in not creative mode, so / game mode.
So the servers and MC.
Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's a conversation process. Some people are tempted to
We can try that later.
Yeah.
start to consider music.
Fucker, I just about fell. Died.
I thought we wanted to test whether it did damage.
With you. Me and
Oh,
Olivia are
sorry.
ready to test it. Except I don't have a gun. That
It
thing
might
is
not work with
crazy.
PvP off, actually.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. Because even if we have health, you can't do any damage. So.
No, because I just... I just converted Olivia to survival and it didn't damage her.
Mm.
It's interesting. I've been keeping track of. I said, does Elfie allowed to do that yet? No, sorry.
No.
In fact, I mean, most of us, you guys can't see, but most of us are just sitting here talking about.
Is that what it? I'm gonna try reconnect. See if I can see more people. Everybody's like disappearing.
That's great. I think we're probably wrapped up here, actually. Does anybody have final questions for the panel before I read it?
Is there an authoring system when you guys talk about writing modules and stuff like that? Is that built into it? Is that part of your version?
Well, some of it, creating the world, placing blocks, making buildings, putting text in the game,
Can't fly.
creating
There you go.
assignments, putting in characters. That's all stuff that you can do just from the game interface. If you want to start changing the
But
rules,
you can save that.
yes, you can save it.
and store it someplace.
These
Yeah.
worlds are persistent. You can either, create a world on just your computer, shut down the computer, come back the next day, it'll pick up right where you left off. You can place these worlds online, so the world is still there running when you're not logged in, or your friends can log in, while it's not going on. But yes, and I actually think that is one of the main appeals of Minecraft. There is this permanence. That's why, especially young children, get so invested in these game worlds. This is my house. I chopped down the trees. I built this house. It is my space, and it's going to exist even when I'm not there. And actually, some of the most upset I've ever seen children become over video anything is when they come back to their house and something happened. Their friend lit a fire and burned down their house. These are kinds of things that can happen in Minecraft, and it can be very upsetting. Yeah.
Cool.
I burned down my own house the first time.
I am in the
Burn your
world
house
all
the
of a
first-
sudden.
Well, you probably learned a lesson about playing with fire, right?
I wanted to make a fireplace and I put lava down.
Right.
Because everybody's scattered, it's getting laggy.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is an app that's installed on all these machines.
Correct.
Okay, I'm stuck in the ground. I can't do anything.
For the server software,
Yeah, legs
dollars, and then it works out.
pretty far gone.
It's funny.
You're spamming the chat.
Who is me?
You're spamming the chat, yeah.
With what?
Creative mode, creative mode, creative mode, creative mode.
Oh. I'm actually underground. Just like slowly sinking like I'm in sand, quicksand. It's kind of funny actually. There we go. Now I'm back at the...
With that client that he has.
Whew. Okay.
Now there's
There's no fee for that?
typically no, yeah. I mean there are a few commercial servers out there, but no, usually it's all free and open. Now there is some more color. The
the version that they're playing at home is not MinecraftEdu, so there's some compatibility issues. But there's a lot of flexibility. I mean,
Change movement speed to 0.
Licenses for MinecraftEdu here. They have a server that
for this room. Yeah.
right. So they do have a certain number of licenses. If you want to try something, just talk to them. Well, actually, it's not just the room.
It's for concurrent users. So they yeah, talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk to them about a license.
And if she wants to, talk to us about more licenses.
That's you.
Or we can figure something.
Self-defense.
People that have to start getting go. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who
Thank you, Rick.
I would just go home and
If you have questions about anything,
there
moving
is an
forward, you can
iPhone iPad Android version, but it's more limited. It's not as extensible. It doesn't have Azure Online, but you can still get the basic game.
Oh, the chairs are gone. What happened?
I knocked them all down for you.
Clean up.
Oh. It's not gonna matter. I'm not saving this server anyway. Not like this is my live map.
But Maria's sign that was edited by Elfie needs to be preserved for posterity. Who just enabled fire and TNT? This is a bad idea.
Maria, or not Maria, sorry, Olivia. I'm sure. She's a naughty child in class. Yeah. She's demonstrating everything that could go wrong.
No. It was a certain person from Buffalo.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's still screen sharing. I could see him trying to set everything on fire.
I'm invisible. It does not count.
But there is crossover. There is now an actual jump rig.
Yeah. Wow. Loud.
Mm.
Cool stuff. I was like, you can ride a horse? What?
There's Minecraft branded videos.
Anyway, thanks so much for coming out. Appreciate it.
I love talking about it.
Yeah,
So, I'm sort of like, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
no, that's fine. That was great.
I know tomorrow.
Everybody's got their thing and they're trying
You hit the nail on the head.
Well, if you want to have
something,
if you want to reach out, like, you know how to. I mean, I have a card.
It's
but
not
you probably know how to.
Yeah,
It's basically an object. It's basically object-oriented programming, right? Like to make modules. This is Java. Okay.
It's Java.
That's exciting. That's a big.
But people have made mods that help you learn how to code in games. So.
There are, there's a
Computer craft.
which allows you to program in JavaScript in the game.
Yeah. Does anyone want
Working
to?
on another mod like Minecraft,
Sure.
Computer craft, and then use Lua,
Thank
scripting
you.
language.
I'm in New York City.
I wonder if I should publish those videos, Matt. I don't think there's anything in there that is identifying other than the first name of the kid.
Yeah.
You're going.
But it's kind of nice to see the kids actually playing in them.
What's your time?
They're short 2-minute videos, but
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work, we like hearing that too because it's good to know. Failures encouraged. So.
Hey, Olivia,
Yeah.
are you still at your computer?
Huh?
Are you still at your computer?
No.
You should check out what I've just done for your cat and dog. I've just given them a nice, safe place to live.
oh my gosh,
Okay.
that doesn't sound good. Is it a gravestone?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It does. It's always 5-year-old blow-ups of self. So yes, either transfer system.
And that's why teachers don't want to use Minecraft. Thank you, John. Wow, could everybody demonstrate more of that?
Sure.
See the kind of negative reactions it draws out of them?
So protective.
Yeah, what happened to professional, you guys?
Wow.
You don't
We
understand
are
who
very
you're dealing with,
professional.
right?
It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. That's what happened to professional.
Like the whole Oculus thing, right? Like, there's plenty of knee-jerk reactions about that. But some of the most cogent replies, and this is what Notch himself wrote about.
I'm interested in
Thanks for the invite, Rick.
Facebook is just, they're not a game. They're not.
All right, you guys, I'm
They
gonna
are the
close
most
out.
popular game
I'll talk to you
platform.
soon.
No worries, buddy.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Thanks,
They're a
guys.
business.
Bye.
See ya.
And you could develop your whole game